Chosen One, 3I/Atlas is coming for you. Emergency alert. This message didn't appear in your path by coincidence, and the timing of it is not random. Something powerful is approaching your life, something intense, something transformative, something that has been building beneath the surface of your reality for far too long. You may have felt it in your spirit before you ever heard it with your ears. A tightening in your intuition, a shift in your energy, a strange awareness stirring inside you. This message is your confirmation that the force known as 3I/Atlas is moving toward you now, not as a threat, but as a catalyst. Not to harm you, but to awaken you. Not to destroy you, but to elevate you. And the universe is sending this alert, so you will be prepared for what is unfolding. Before we go deeper, stay with this message until the end, and write your warmest wishes and 144 in the comments as a declaration of alignment and activation. Let it be written once here, and now we return fully to the message. Now, Chosen One, press the hype button, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's start. Chosen One, 3I/Atlas is not a physical force, not a human entity, not an external threat. It is an energetic wave of transformation coming directly into your reality. It is the convergence of three internal forces: insight, interruption, and initiation, all designed to push you into the next level of your evolution. And Atlas, the second name for this force, symbolizes the weight of your destiny finally being placed in your hands, the responsibility of your growth returning to its rightful owner. You. For too long, you have been carrying the weight of other people's expectations, other people's doubts, other people's projections. You have been shrinking, bending, softening, suppressing your own power in order to keep certain connections alive. But 3I/Atlas is coming to interrupt that cycle. It is coming to expose what is misaligned. It is coming to bring clarity where there has been confusion. It is coming to lift your awareness to a level where you can no longer tolerate anything that does not match your spiritual identity. Chosen One, the emergency alert is not because something is wrong. It is because something is shifting so quickly that your spirit needs to be awakened to match its pace. This force approaches silently, but its impact is loud. It does not arrive with subtlety. It arrives with intensity. It enters your life like a sudden realization, a sudden awakening, a sudden understanding that your life can no longer remain the same. In the hours and days ahead, you may begin to feel the effects of this energy pressing against your inner world. You may notice that your patience is thinner with things that distract your purpose. You may observe that your tolerance is lower for situations that drain your energy. You may suddenly feel the urge to correct something in your life that has been out of balance for too long. This is 3I, the internal interruption, breaking through your patterns. Chosen One, the internal insight of this force will bring moments of clarity that feel almost divine in their timing. You may see people differently. You may see yourself differently. You may see your path with sharpness that was unavailable before. Insights will rise out of nowhere, illuminating truths that you once overlooked. These insights are not random. They are coded messages from the universe, preparing your spirit for expansion. And then comes the third element, identity ignition. This is where Atlas begins to make itself known. Suddenly, you begin to feel the weight of who you truly are. Not in a burdensome way, but in a powerful way. You begin to recognize your strength, your purpose, your potential. You begin to feel the fire of your identity returning to its rightful flame. You begin to understand that you were never meant to live small. Chosen One, Atlas is not coming to break you. It is coming to remind you that you can carry your destiny. It is coming to remind you that your spirit is strong enough to rise. It is coming to remind you that you were built for this journey, molded for this moment, prepared for this chapter. The emergency alert is simply the call for you to wake up, to stand in your truth, to rise with intention. You may notice that old habits no longer satisfy you. Old thinking no longer fits you. Old environments no longer comfort you. This is because 3I/ATLAS is stripping away every layer of your identity that was shaped by fear instead of purpose. It is removing what is outdated. It is dissolving what is misaligned. It is burning away the illusions that once controlled you. Chosen one, you are entering a season where your spirit becomes too alive to be manipulated, too aware to be deceived, too awakened to be controlled. And this awakening is exactly why 3I/ATLAS is coming toward you. You are being elevated out of old cycles and into your rightful place. A place where your intuition is sharp, your purpose is clear, your mind is balanced, and your energy is aligned. This force exposes everything that threatens your growth. It highlights everything that must be released. It reveals everything that must be protected. It awakens everything that must rise. And chosen one, you are rising. The emergency alert is not a warning of danger. It is a call to readiness, a call to clarity, a call to identity, a call to alignment. 3I/ATLAS is coming toward you because you are ready. Ready to evolve, ready to awaken, ready to step into the next version of yourself. Chosen one, this is only the beginning. Chosen one, as the movement of 3I/ATLAS draws closer to your spirit, you may begin to recognize subtle internal sensations that you cannot fully explain. A stirring of awareness, a shift in your emotional landscape, a quiet vibration in the deeper parts of your mind. It is not fear, it is not anxiety. It is a spiritual alertness rising within you, like your intuition is waking up from a long sleep. You may feel as though something inside you is paying attention in a way it hasn't before. This is the first sign that the internal interruption has already begun. The universe is clearing mental clutter, pulling your focus away from noise, and heightening your awareness so you can understand the messages being sent to you. Your old patterns may feel uncomfortable now. The things you used to tolerate may irritate your spirit. The conversations you once entertained may no longer feel aligned. This discomfort is not punishment. It is recalibration. 3I/ATLAS begins by disrupting the cycles that keep you small. You are being pulled out of emotional autopilot and into conscious awareness. Your spirit is refusing to repeat what no longer contributes to your growth. This disturbance is the beginning of your awakening. Chosen one, you may feel an internal pressure building, not a negative pressure, but a force pushing you to pay attention, to act, to choose differently, to step into a more awakened version of yourself. You may feel almost as if your spirit is urging you to move, shift, or adjust something in your life. This pressure is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to activate you. You are being called to rise above the outdated identities you once lived through. You are being called to step into a level of self-understanding that transforms everything. This is where the second wave of the 3I force becomes active. Internal insight. Suddenly, you may begin to see patterns that were once invisible. You may understand why certain things happened the way they did. You may see your past not as failure, but as preparation. Insights may come to you in moments of stillness, through intuitive thoughts, through sudden realizations, through emotional clarity. These insights are not coincidences. They are spiritual messages rising through your consciousness. They are guiding you toward your next chapter with precision. Some of these insights may be uncomfortable at first. You may see truths about people that you were not ready to accept before. You may recognize emotional attachments that are no longer aligned with your growth. You may understand that certain situations were sustained only by your desire for comfort, not by genuine alignment. These realizations may sting, but they will free you. Insight is liberation disguised as discomfort. And 3, I/ATLAS, uses this insight to break illusions that held you bound. Chosen one, as these insights illuminate your inner world, you may find your perspective shifting entirely. Things that once felt confusing now make sense. Paths that once seemed unclear begin to open. You may feel a stronger sense of direction, a clearer understanding of what you want, and a deeper appreciation for what your spirit has been trying to tell you. This clarity is the foundation upon which Atlas builds the next phase of your transformation. Atlas, the force of identity awakening, begins working the moment you realize you can no longer return to your old self. You may feel yourself separating from old habits, old reactions, old impulses. You may feel a pull toward becoming someone more aligned with purpose, inner strength, peace, and self-respect. This is the spiritual ignition of your identity. Your inner flame is waking up. You are beginning to recognize the version of you that was always meant to rise. Chosen one, Atlas does not come into your life quietly. It comes with momentum. It comes with weight. It comes with responsibility. But not responsibility that burdens you, responsibility that empowers you. You begin to understand that your healing, your clarity, your growth, your elevation, your peace, your future are in your hands, not in the hands of others, not in the hands of circumstances, not in the hands of your past. Atlas places your destiny back into your grasp. It reminds you that your strength is not something you gain, it is something you reclaim. You may notice your boundaries strengthening without effort. You may find yourself saying no more easily, not from fear, but from clarity. You may feel a need to reorganize your environment, your routines, your energy, your priorities. These shifts are signs that Atlas is anchoring itself within you. This energy makes you more intentional, more focused, more grounded. It becomes harder for people to manipulate your kindness. It becomes harder for situations to pull you into emotional confusion. You are becoming centered. Chosen one, you may also feel an internal separation from old identities, versions of yourself that were built on survival rather than purpose. You may feel distance from the person you were when you were struggling, lost, unsure, or wounded. This separation may feel bittersweet, but it is necessary. You are outgrowing the emotional patterns that were created in seasons of pain. You are shedding layers of yourself that were born from fear instead of truth. Every transformation requires release. You are releasing who you had to be. You are stepping into who you were always meant to be. This is why the universe sent 3 I/ATLAS toward you. You are entering a timeline where your elevation cannot be delayed. Your spirit is expanding. Your intuition is awakening. Your identity is strengthening. You are rising into a version of yourself that can handle the blessings, opportunities, clarity, and purpose that are coming. Chosen one, Atlas is the force that enters your life to reintroduce you to your power. It makes you aware of your capacity. It makes you aware of your potential. It makes you aware of the inner strength you forgot you possessed. It reveals to you that you were never weak. You were simply evolving. You were never broken. You were becoming. You were never lost. You were being rerouted. This is why the emergency alert arrived. Not to warn you of danger, but to wake you into destiny. 3I/ATLAS is coming because you are ready for the next chapter. The chapter where you stop living on autopilot and begin living with intention. The chapter where you stop repeating cycles and begin creating direction. The chapter where you stop reacting to life and begin shaping it. Chosen one, you may feel isolated during this awakening, not because you are alone, but because you are being lifted out of old environments. You may feel detached, not because you are cold, but because your soul is choosing peace over chaos. You may feel different, not because something is wrong, but because something is transforming inside you. You are shifting. You are awakening. You are stepping into alignment. 3I/ATLAS is coming to push you into your purpose with force, focus, and fire. And chosen one, you will not remain the same. Chosen one, as the presence of 3I/ATLAS continues weaving itself through your inner world, you may begin to feel the subtle dismantling of everything that once kept you stagnant. It is as if something inside you is reaching into the corners of your spirit, pulling out old fears, outdated beliefs, and hidden insecurities that you didn't realize were still influencing your life. This is not destruction, it is purification. 3I/ATLAS clears space before it builds. It removes what is expired so the new can take root. And while this internal clearing may feel intense at times, it is preparing you for a level of strength and clarity that cannot coexist with old emotional debris. You may feel moments where your spirit becomes unusually quiet, a silence that is not empty, but full. A silence that feels like the calm before transformation. A silence in which your old patterns begin losing their grip. This silence is sacred. It is the space where the universe reshapes your identity. It is the space where your intuition becomes louder than your doubts. It is the space where you realize you are no longer guided by the fears of your past, but by the wisdom rising inside you. Chosen one, you may notice your emotions shifting in waves that feel both powerful and purposeful. You may feel lighter one moment and introspective the next. You may feel clarity followed by reflection. These emotional movements are not instability. They are recalibration. 3I/ATLAS moves through your emotional field like a wind that rearranges everything you thought you understood about yourself. It lifts what no longer serves and grounds what is meant to stay. Emotion becomes your compass, not your confusion. This energy also brings an awakening to the way you speak to yourself. You may catch yourself correcting old self-criticisms, dissolving negative self-talk, or challenging limiting thoughts that once controlled your decisions. This mental awareness is not accidental. It is one of the clearest signs that the internal insight of 3I is taking root. Your mind is no longer a battlefield. It is becoming a meeting place for clarity and purpose. You are beginning to think in alignment with your future, not your fears. Chosen one, you may start to feel a deep release happening within you. Not a dramatic collapse, but a quiet letting go. You may feel the weight of old wounds loosening. You may feel emotional ties to certain memories weakening. You may feel forgiveness rising, not because people deserve it, but because your soul craves freedom. 3I/Atlas removes emotional parasites that feed on your energy. It breaks connections that were built on your insecurity. It releases expectations that were built on your past identity. Freedom is arriving one small shift at a time. And as you release, something beautiful happens. You begin to see your past with softer eyes. You begin to understand that nothing broke you. It shaped you. Nothing stopped you. It redirected you. Nothing diminished you. It prepared you. Your past becomes a teacher instead of a wound. This transformation of perspective is profound. It is the psychological rebirth that Atlas initiates. The moment you realize that your story has always been building you, never destroying you. Chosen one, another sign that this energetic force is working within you is the shift in what attracts your spirit. You may find yourself drawn to peace instead of chaos. You may seek meaningful interactions instead of surface-level distractions. You may gravitate toward environments that nurture your clarity. These shifts are not preferences. They are spiritual upgrades. Your spirit no longer tolerates what drains you because it is preparing to carry something greater. This is Atlas strengthening your foundation. You may also notice that your sense of intuition becomes almost instantaneous. You feel people before you understand them. You sense their intentions without needing explanations. You pick up on energy that once went unnoticed. This heightened intuition is not paranoia, it is protection. 3. I sharpens your perception so that nothing misaligned can enter unnoticed. Your spirit becomes your shield. Your awareness becomes your armor. Chosen one, you may begin distancing yourself from certain people, not out of anger, but out of evolution. Some connections no longer feel aligned. Some conversations no longer carry meaning. Some interactions feel energetically heavy. This distance is sacred. It is your spirit choosing growth over familiarity. When 3I/ATLAS moves through your life, it removes anything that is too small for your destiny. Not because those people are bad, but because your path requires clarity they cannot provide. In this stage, you may find yourself becoming more honest with yourself. You may no longer tolerate your own excuses. You may no longer postpone your healing. You may no longer hide from your potential. You begin to take accountability with compassion. You begin to accept your truth without resistance. This is where your identity begins to rebirth. Atlas is not just awakening your purpose, it is awakening your self-respect. Chosen one, your energy may feel different to others now. Some may feel drawn to you because of your clarity. Others may feel intimidated because of your growth. This shift in how others perceive you is not your responsibility. It is simply the result of your awakening. When your spirit rises, people react based on their own level of awareness. Some will elevate with you. Others will distance themselves. Let both responses happen without resistance. Your evolution is not meant to be understood by everyone. As 3I/ATLAS continues its work, you may feel your sense of direction sharpening. You may not know the entire path ahead, but you know the next right step. You may not see the full destination, but you feel the alignment. And that is enough. Clarity does not come all at once. It arrives in pieces, and each piece builds the path you are meant to walk. Chosen one, you may experience moments where your spirit feels stretched, like you are expanding beyond your old limits, reaching toward a new identity. This stretching may feel uncomfortable, but it is a sign of transformation. Growth happens in the space between who you were and who you are becoming. Atlas stands in that space and guides you through it. It teaches you to hold the weight of your evolution without collapsing. You may notice that your ability to protect your peace becomes non-negotiable. You no longer apologize for prioritizing your energy. You no longer feel guilty for setting boundaries. You no longer settle for situations that demand self-betrayal. This is the new you forming. This is alignment replacing self-sacrifice. This is identity replacing insecurity. Chosen one, the emergency alert was not a warning of danger. It was a proclamation of awakening. 3I/Atlas is the force that arrives when your spirit is ready to level up. It arrives when your old identity can no longer contain your purpose. It arrives when it is time for you to stop shrinking and start rising. You are stepping into a season where everything inside you becomes sharper. Your intuition, your awareness, your emotional strength, your boundaries, your clarity. 3. I is the change. Atlas is the becoming. And you, chosen one, are the one transforming. Chosen one, as the influence of 3I/Atlas continues intensifying within your inner world, you may notice your relationship with your own energy shifting in profound ways. You may feel more aware of how you move through spaces, how you respond to people, how you navigate conversations, and how you protect your peace. The sensitivity you feel is not fragility, it is awakening. You are becoming conscious of energetic exchanges that once slipped under your awareness. You are noticing the subtle differences between what nourishes your spirit and what drains it. This heightened sensitivity is part of the Atlas activation, or the strengthening of your internal compass. You may find yourself feeling detached from certain emotions that once consumed you. Not because you are suppressing them, but because they no longer resonate with your evolving identity. The things that once triggered you may now feel distant. The drama that once pulled you may now feel irrelevant. The conflicts that once tangled your emotions may now pass through you without anchoring. This emotional neutrality is a sign of your spiritual maturity. You are learning to observe your emotions rather than drown in them. You are learning to respond instead of react. Chosen one, you may begin sensing a deeper separation between your old self and your emerging self. It is as if you are watching parts of your old identity loosen their hold. Habits that no longer fit, thoughts that no longer align, attachments that no longer comfort you. This internal shedding may feel strange at times. It may feel like you are outgrowing your own skin, but this is the metamorphosis that 3I/ATLAS brings, an identity death followed by an identity rebirth. You are becoming the version of yourself that your next chapter requires. You may feel a sudden clarity about certain paths you must walk away from. This clarity will not come with anger or bitterness. It will come with calm certainty. You will not feel the urge to convince anyone of your decisions. You will not feel the need to explain your boundaries. You will not feel obligated to soften your truth for the comfort of others. This quiet assurance is one of the strongest signs that Atlas is anchoring your identity. You are choosing your path with intention rather than influence. Chosen one, you may also notice that your internal dialogue is changing. You may speak to yourself with more compassion, more understanding, more respect. You may catch yourself reframing old narratives, rejecting limiting beliefs, and challenging thoughts that once held power over you. This shift in inner voice is the rewriting of your internal identity. Atlas does not simply change you. It teaches you how to speak to yourself as someone worthy, capable, prepared, and aligned. As this energy works through you, your intuition may begin guiding you more directly. You may feel instinctive pulls towards certain decisions. You may feel an internal no toward situations that once tempted you. You may feel a calm certainty in choices that once overwhelmed you. This intuitive precision is a sign that you are moving deeper into alignment. Your inner communication is becoming clear. You are hearing the messages your soul has been trying to send you. Chosen one, the presence of three, I/ATLAS, may also illuminate the emotional weight you've been carrying. Weight that did not belong to you. Weight you absorbed from others. Weight you inherited from past experiences. Weight your old identity carried out of habit rather than truth. This awareness may feel heavy at first, but it is the beginning of liberation. You cannot release what you cannot see. And now, through this awakening, you are seeing clearly. You may find yourself letting go of expectations others placed on you, expectations you placed on yourself, expectations built on outdated versions of who you were. This release creates space for clarity, space for peace, space for new identity, space for authentic desire. When expectations dissolve, truth rises, and in this season, your truth is rising with unmistakable strength. Chosen one, the more Atlas awakens within you, the more you begin to value solitude. Not as a hiding place, but as a sanctuary. You may feel a stronger urge to sit in silence, breathe deeply, think clearly, and listen to the subtle movements of your spirit. Solitude becomes the space where you recenter. It becomes the space where your next steps reveal themselves. It becomes the space where your identity expands. You are not alone. You are aligned. In this stage, you may become more selective with your energy. You may no longer allow everyone access to your mind, your heart, your time, or your presence. This selectiveness is not guardedness, it is wisdom. It is the understanding that your energy is valuable, your peace is sacred, your alignment is fragile, and your spirit is evolving. Atlas strengthens your discernment, helping you choose your environment with intention. Chosen one, you may also feel empowered in ways that surprise you. You may speak your truth without hesitation. You may ask for what you deserve without shrinking. You may remove yourself from situations that once intimidated you. This empowerment is not arrogance. It is awakening. You are stepping into emotional independence. You are reclaiming your self-worth. You are anchoring your identity in clarity rather than validation. And as this empowerment grows, you may feel less emotionally attached to outcomes. You no longer chase what is uncertain. You no longer cling to what is unstable. You no longer beg for what is not aligned. Instead, you begin to trust the flow of your own awareness. You begin to move with intention. You begin to act with clarity. You begin to surrender without fear. This surrender is strength. It is the maturity that 3I/ATLAS cultivates. Chosen one, the presence of this force also reveals the parts of your life that must be restructured, routines that must be adjusted, boundaries that must be reinforced, habits that must be refined, perspectives that must be reshaped. You may feel a sudden urge to reorganize your environment, clean your space, change your behaviors, or redirect your energy. This urge is alignment-seeking expression. Your external reality is adjusting to your internal awakening. You may also begin feeling emotionally lighter, as if invisible weight is lifting from your spirit. Certain worries may lose their intensity. Certain fears may feel less threatening. Certain insecurities may fade without effort. This lightness is not temporary. It is the result of internal realignment. When your identity shifts, your emotional atmosphere shifts with it. Chosen one, the emergency alert was a call to awareness, and now awareness is becoming your new way of being. You see through illusions, not because you seek them out, but because you cannot unsee the truth anymore. You navigate life with clarity, not because you know every answer, but because you trust your intuition. You protect your spirit, not because you fear loss, but because you value alignment. 3. I is the awakening. Atlas is the embodiment. And you are the chosen one, rising through both. And as this transformation unfolds, you step into a version of yourself that moves with purpose, sees with clarity, and rises with unshakable truth.